Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. Children, let us start with a new lesson in Standard 8th, and the topic for today is scholarship, and today we are going to do a lesson in scholarship English. Alright, and the name of the lesson is lesson number 3.7 from your scholarship textbooks, and the name of the lesson is synthesis. Now, when I say the word synthesis, what meaning comes to your mind? Can you think of any meaning when I say the word synthesis? Synthesis has got something to do with combining, isn't it? When I say synthesis, it means some kind of a combination. That is combining simpler things to form something which is more difficult. Alright, and this word synthesis, we use it many times with regards to science. That is, we talk about synthesis of chemicals, synthesis of elements, compounds, etc. But here, of course, we are going to talk about synthesis of sentences. Alright, and what is the meaning of synthesis of sentences, and what are the different kind of sentences? How can you synthesize, or how can you combine these different kind of sentences to form a new kind of sentence? All these things are going to be part of today's video. Now this topic, children, is going to be a little exhaustive. It is a little big actually, if you see, and there are various types of patterns also. So what we will do is, if the video goes too long, then we will cut it short and we will divide it into two parts. So it will be easier for you to understand also. Alright, so on that note, let us start with this video, synthesis, that is synthesis of sentences. So, what is the meaning of synthesis of sentences? Now, I already told you what is the meaning of synthesis as a word. And we also discussed that synthesis is related more to science. We hear more about this concept in science, in chemistry. But here we are talking about synthesis of sentences. And then what does that mean? What do you understand by saying synthesis of sentences? See, synthesis of sentences is the opposite of transformation of sentence. When you transform a sentence, you change the sentence totally into something else. But when you're saying synthesis of sentences, what do? You combine a number of simple sentences into one new sentence. So you pick up two simple sentences, you pick up three simple sentences, and you combine them and you form a new kind of sentence. So this new sentence which you're forming could either be simple, it could be compound, or it could be complex. And remember, when you're combining them, you make use of different tools of the English language. That is, you make use of infinitives, okay, you make use of participles, you make use of various kind of clauses. So all that we will discuss. Alright, but for now you just remember that synthesis of sentences means to change a sentence or to make a sentence, to combine a sentence, and 2-3 sentences you combine together and you form a new sentence. Okay, that is the meaning of synthesis. Now that new sentence could either be a simple sentence, it could be a compound sentence, or it could be a complex sentence. Okay, now before we go and see how we actually do this, we will also quickly revise what is the meaning of a simple sentence, what is the meaning of a compound and complex sentence. We have already done this, children. There was an entire video which we have done regarding types of sentences. But since this entire idea of synthesis is based on the types of sentences, we will take a look at the types of sentences also quickly before we go to the actual process of synthesizing the sentences. Okay, so there are different kinds of sentences we know. Alright, now based on the structure, we have simple, compound, complex, and based on the use of the sentence or the role that the sentence plays in a language, there also we have different kind of sentences. For example, we have interrogative sentences, we have exclamatory sentences, etc. But here we will take a look at simple, compound, complex. Okay, so let us start by understanding the meaning of simple sentences. So what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence is one which has one finite verb and it is an independent clause. Now we already discussed that independent clauses are also called as main clauses. Okay, so a simple sentence has got only one finite verb. Alright, and it is an independent clause. An independent clause means it can stand by itself. It has got its own meaning. See, a finite verb means what? The main verb in the sentence is a finite verb, and in a simple sentence you have just one main verb. You have just one finite verb. And also a clause that can form a complete sentence standing alone is a main clause. So now we know what a simple sentence is, and we also know what the meaning of finite verb is and what the meaning of a main clause is. Okay, so this, children, in short is the meaning of a simple sentence. So you can also call independent clauses as simple sentences. Okay, come on, now let's see some examples. So in English, when you see examples, you understand the concept better. So examples of simple sentences include the following. Geeta waited for the train is a simple sentence. See, there is just one finite verb, that is waiting. Geeta waited for the train. The train was late. Minnie and Samir took the bus. I looked for Minnie and Samir at the bus station. So all these are types of sentences which are simple sentences. Okay. Now we come to the next category of sentences. We will see what is the meaning of compound sentences. So what is the meaning of compound sentence, children? Often sentences have more than one subject and predicate. That is, it can have more than one independent clause. In short, it can have more than one simple sentences. So one big sentence has got more than one simple sentence within it. So such kind of sentences are called as compound sentences. And I do remember that when we were talking about compound sentences in the previous lesson, I told you, I gave you the example of compound leaves, where there are small leaves which combine together to form a big leaf. Alright, so that is the meaning of a compound sentence. Now, a compound sentence is a sentence that has at least two independent clauses joined by a comma, a semicolon, or a conjunction. So, we have two small sentences, two simple sentences within a sentence. It could be more than two also. And these more than two or two simple sentences are joined together. How? By using a comma, by using a semicolon, or by using a conjunction. Now they have to be joined, isn't it, in some way or the other. So that is the meaning of compound sentence. Alright, moving on. Let's see some examples of compound sentences here. So you have, I like coffee and Mary likes tea. Mary went to work, but John went to the party and I went home. Now see here, there are three sentences within this one sentence. Mary went to work, John went to the party, and I went home. So we have combined them, making use of comma also, making use of conjunction also. Mary went to work, but John went to the party, and I went home. Okay, then I used to be Snow White, but I drifted. Again, two independent clauses. I used to be Snow White, I drifted, combined using a comma as well as a conjunction. So these are all examples of compound sentences for you. Here is one more. She is famous, yet she is humble. So she is famous, but she is not proud. She is not vain. She is still humble. Alright, so these are all examples of compound sentences. Now we move on to the third kind of sentence, complex sentences. What is the meaning of a complex sentence? Some sentences have more than one clause. Now remember, in compound also we had more than one clause, but all the clauses there were independent clauses. They were the main clauses. They had independent meaning of their own. But here, in a compound sentence, one sentence, which is one part of the sentence, could be an independent clause and the other will be the subordinate clause. Now, we already know what is the meaning of independent clause. So, what is the meaning of subordinate clause? We have learned that a subordinate clause is a clause which cannot stand alone. It does not have meaning of its own. Okay? For example, these two clauses are connected using subordinators like that, whose, and although, etc. So whenever you find two clauses joined together using words like that, whose, although, etc., you understand and you realize that it is a complex sentence. Okay? Now children, when I am telling you all this, just remember that even though we have learnt the idea or concept of simple, compound and complex sentences, we are again doing this in this lesson. Why? Because this topic of types of sentences, especially based on the structure, is a little difficult to understand. It can be a little confusing also. Then what is the best thing you do? You keep on revising it. Okay, you visit it again and again so you understand better. Alright, let's take a look at some examples of complex sentences now. So what are some examples of complex sentences? Because my coffee was too cold, I heated it in the microwave. So come on, take a look at this sentence. Even though I have highlighted it in different colors, just by looking at it, you know that one part of the sentence is an independent clause and the other one is a subordinate clause. So which is the independent clause? I heated it in the microwave is the independent clause. But if you look at the words written in red here, because my coffee was cold, because my coffee was too cold, what? I don't get any meaning from this. Because my coffee was too cold, I drank it quickly. Because my coffee was too cold, I threw it away. Because my coffee was too cold, I heated it again. So see, I really don't know, alright, what the next part of the sentence could be. So this is dependent. This is subordinate. The meaning of this clause depends on the main clause. That is why it is called as a subordinate clause. Alright, moving on to see some more examples. Although he was wealthy, he was still unhappy. So he was wealthy, but he was unhappy. Okay, then she returned the computer after she noticed it was damaged. So now by just looking at it, you know which one is the independent clause and which one is the subordinate clause. Alright, again you have whenever prices go up, customers buy less. So as the price of anything increases, the customers start buying it lesser. Alright, so now we will come to the actual part where we see what is the meaning of synthesis of sentences. So now when you combine two or more simple sentences to form another type of sentence. Now this another type of sentence could be either simple or compound or complex. Okay, so there is no hard and fast rule that when you combine two simple sentences, the sentence which you are forming cannot be a simple sentence anymore. Okay, it could be a simple sentence also. And we will look at the process now. How is it done? So to combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence. Let's see. So now we are going to combine two simple sentences and we are going to form another simple sentence. So you have, this can be done using infinitives, participles, nouns, noun phrases, adverbs or adverb phrases. Now we take a look at all these small words here. Infinitives means the using the word, letter or word to. For example, run, when I say, if I say to run, means it is infinitive. Okay, to read, to walk. The use of the word to makes the phrase an infinitive. Now, coming to participle. So what is a participle? What do you understand by participle? Participles means a word that is formed from a verb and it ends with ing or ed. For example, when you say ing, it is present participle. Reading, walking, present participle. When you say ed, it is the past participle. Walked. Okay. Then you can add any word, any verb you add ed, it becomes the past participle. Alright, and nouns, we know what they are, we know what are noun phrases, we know what are adverbs, we know what are adverb phrases. So to combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence, we make use of all these tricks, or we make use of all these small tools. We make use of infinitive, we make use of participles, nouns or noun phrases, adverbs or adverb phrases. Alright, let us take a look at some examples now. Here is the sentence. I shall go to the market. I shall buy bangles there. I will combine them and say, I shall go to the market to buy bangles. So see, I have used the infinitive to buy. Alright, so to buy is the infinitive here. Moving on, let's see some more examples. So you have the cat heard the noise, the cat jumped. Okay, so how will I combine them? I've combined them saying, hearing the noise, the cat jumped. So see, it is the participle, ing, of the word. Hearing the noise, the cat jumped. Another example, I consulted Dr. Shah, he is a famous surgeon. What have I done? I consulted Dr. Shah, a famous surgeon. So I have removed the he is and I have joined this here and I have made it a simple sentence because I have made use of a noun phrase. Okay. Another example, the lawyer reached the court. He was punctual. See how I have joined it? I have joined it using an adverb. The lawyer reached the court punctually. Alright, so I have made use of an adverb. So what have I done here in this process? I have combined two simple sentences to make another simple sentence. I have made use of the participle, I have made use of the infinitive, the noun phrase, the adverb, and sometimes I can make use of the adverb phrase and noun also. Coming to the next part. What will I do to combine two simple sentences into a compound sentence? Now I want to combine two simple sentences and make it into a compound sentence now. What will I do? Let's see. So this can be done using coordinate conjunctions. So conjunctions, we all know all the meaning of conjunction is. So we can use coordinate conjunctions in order to combine two simple sentences into a compound sentence. Example, she is a teacher, she is an actress. See how I've combined it? I'm saying she is a teacher as well as an actress. So I've combined these two simple sentences into a compound sentence. Moving on, let's see the next example. She is a teacher and an actress. Okay, let's see one more. She is not only a teacher but also an actress. So you see, you can combine it in all these different ways to make a compound sentence. Okay, moving on, let's see how to combine two simple sentences into a complex complex sentence now. This can be done using a subordinate clause. So you can create a subordinate clause, either a noun clause or an adverb clause, in order to combine two simple sentences into a complex sentence. Because in a complex sentence, you have one clause, one part of the sentence which is dependent on the other part. Okay, so here you have some kind of clause that you can use. You can use a noun, adjective, or adverb clause. Okay, let's see some examples. Good communication skills are very important. He knows this. He knows that good communication skills are very important. So see, you've combined two sentences and you've made two simple sentences and you've made it into a complex sentence and you've made use of a clause. That good communication skills are important. It is a noun clause. Okay, moving on. Let's see some more examples. Here is a sentence for you. The old man had to work in a factory. The factory was very dirty. How will I combine it? The old man had to work in a factory which was very dirty. So now see, this is an adjective clause here. We are talking about the factory and we are giving some more information about the factory. We are saying that the factory was not very clean. How was it? It was very dirty. Okay, moving on to one more example. He worked hard. He did not like it. So here we say, though he worked hard, he did not like it. So it is an adverb clause now. Though he worked hard. Alright, how did he work? He worked hard. So these are all the ways in which you combine two simple sentences to form a complex sentence. Okay, children, so this was, you can say, the explanation part of this particular lesson. Synthesis of sentences. We talked about the various types of sentences also, and we also saw how you can use various tools in order to combine two simple sentences and form one more simple sentence or a complex sentence or a compound sentence. Okay, now we take a look at some more examples before we move on. So he jumped up, he ran away. Jumping up, he ran away. Okay, let's take a look at a combination of examples now here. He was tired of playing, he sat down. Tired of play, he sat down to rest. The moon rose, their journey was not ended. Before their journey ended, the moon rose. He has failed many times, he still hopes to win. Having failed many times, he still hopes to win. So see, these are all the ways we have combined two sentences in order to form a new kind of sentence. Then we have some more examples. I have some duties, I must perform them. I have some duties to perform. We must finish this exercise. There are still 3 sentences. We have still 3 sentences in this exercise to finish. So see, I'm making use of infinitives here. Okay. Then he deserved to succeed. He failed. He failed undeservedly. So these are all the ways in which I've combined two kind of sentences in order to form a new sentence. Okay, children. So we saw enough number of examples and we saw a lot of explanation also. Now we move on to the question patterns. Now let us see how many types of questions we will have to look at. So we will have to look at 5 types of questions in total. So the first type, pick out the correct simple sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. So there will be 2 simple sentences which are given to you, and these 2 simple sentences will be joined together and it will give you a new simple sentence. So you have to pick up the correct answer. You have to pick up the correct option. Okay. Then you have pick out the correct compound sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. So you all know that simple sentences are always combined. So you either get the end result as a simple sentence, or you get the end result as a compound sentence, or you get the end result as a complex sentence. So in this case, you have to pick up which is the correct answer, which is the correct compound sentence, which has been formed by combining 2 simple sentences. Then you have pick out the correct complex sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. Same thing, You're combining two simple sentences and your answer should be the correct complex sentence. So you have to pick up which one is the correct complex sentence. Okay? Pattern 4 is pick out the method by which the two simple sentences are combined. Okay, so you have to find out which is the correct method which has been used. That is, are you using an infinitive? Are you using a participle? Are you using an adverb clause, noun clause? So what have you used in order to combine the two simple sentences? And finally, you have the pattern where you do as directed. So whatever the question is asking you to do, that you have to do. Okay, children? So now I think we should go to the examples. Alright, so we will start by doing one kind of example and the remaining we will do it for the next video because this video is getting rather long. Okay, so come on, let's take a look at the first pattern and we will take around 4 or 5 examples in this particular pattern. So you have these two simple sentences. I shall go to the market. I shall buy vegetables there. So you have two sentences where one sentence is saying that I shall go to the market, independent clause. I shall buy vegetables there, independent clause. You have to combine them and you have to make a new simple sentence. So now you have combined them and you have made the sentence also. Now which one of these will be the right answer? I shall go to the market and I shall buy vegetables there. I shall go to the market so that I can buy vegetables there. I shall go to the market because I shall buy vegetables there. I shall go to the market to buy vegetables. So what do you think is the right option? Which one is correct? I shall go to the market. I shall buy vegetables there will become option number 4. It will say I shall go to the market to buy vegetables. So see, what have you done? You have combined two simple sentences. I shall go to the market and I shall buy vegetables there. These are the two simple sentences. You have put them together and you've made a new simple sentence. I shall go to the market to buy vegetables. Alright, come on. Now let's see 4 more examples over here in this particular pattern. So pick out the correct simple sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. He climbed up, he reached the top. Okay? Come on, let's see what is the correct combination, which is the right way in which it has been combined. He climbed up and reached the top. He climbs up to reach the top. Climbing up, he reached the top. He reached the top when he climbed up. Which one will be the correct simple sentence? Think about it and always remember when you're doing your scholarship video, how can you make it more interesting and interactive? You can do it by pausing the video when you see the question and immediately try to guess the answer and then replay the video. So which one did you find as a right one? It is the third one. Climbing up, he reached the top. So you made use of the present participle over here. Again, next one, third set of, you can say, simple sentences. The police arrived, the crowd melted away. So the police came, there was some kind of crowd. As soon as the police came, the crowd melted. Now remember, the word that you used here, the verb melted, you usually use it for ice. Okay, but here you can use the same for crowd too. So, let's see. The police arrived and the crowd melted away. The crowd melted away on the arrival of the police. The crowd melted away and the police arrived. The crowd melted when the police arrived. So which will be the correct option? Will it be 1, 2, 3 or 4? When you combine the two simple sentences, the police arrived
the crowd melted away. Let's check. It is sentence number 2. The crowd melted away on the arrival of the police. Okay, see, meaning is the same. We are not changing the meaning, remember. When you synthesize, when you combine two sentences, you will never ever change the meaning. So the crowd melted away on the arrival of the police. It means the same thing. The police came and the crowd melted away. Okay, moving on to the second last example in this pattern. Pick out the correct simple sentence formed by synthesizing the given simple sentences. Same pattern. Example is different. The man will pay the sum. He will not delay it. So what will be the answer? The man will pay the sum without delay. The man will pay the sum without delayment. The man will pay the sum and not delay. Will the man pay the sum without delay? So let's see which one will be the right option. It will be option number 1. The man will pay the sum without delays. That is, he will not make any delay in paying the sum. Now here the word delayment is used. So please check whether this word is correct. Okay, I will not tell you whether it is right or wrong. So please pick up the dictionary and see whether this word delayment is there in the dictionary. So this is one more way of learning vocabulary. When you look at a word and you have a doubt about it, always check it up in the dictionary. Okay, coming to the last question for today, we have, she heard the news, she fainted. So, once she heard the news, she fainted. She heard the news and fainted. When she heard the news, she fainted. On hearing the news, she fainted. So, which one is the correct answer? It is option number 4, where we have made use of a participle, the present participle. On hearing the news, she fainted. Okay, children. So see, we have just touched on pattern 1. There are 4 more patterns remaining. Okay, and doing all of them will make this video really long, and it will become difficult for me also to continuously speak. Okay, so that is why we will halt here and we will pick up where we left in the next video.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learned a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.